What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. On this episode of the Milan Weekly Podcast, it's me, Fabio, Steve, and Gio in tonight for Vinny T. May the 4th be with all of you out there. We're going to talk about Milan getting slapped by Sassuolo, and the real questions are starting to come out now. Champions League hopes, they're hanging by a thread, ladies and gentlemen. And to make things worse, Inter clinched the Scudetto, 21st championship for them. We're going to talk all this and the rest of the city out tonight. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're up to date when we're going live. Smash the like button. Please leave a comment. Follow us on all of our socials. And of course, if you want to support the channel, super chats are open and become a part of our Patreon. Listen, the team isn't good right now. The situation is possibly makes us feel worse than last season. And honestly, so much to talk about tonight. So, boys, are we ready?
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast show. I'm Fabio, there's Stevie, and of course, Gio. Listen, guys, tonight, drop your takes in the chat. We're reading everything tonight. We are angry. There's so much to be disappointed about with this team. Let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Milan 0, going to Sassuolo and getting embarrassed in Sassuolo. Within the first 5 minutes, guys, we could tell that this game is right on track with all the bullshit that we've seen. Usually we'll talk, let's talk about the lineup. Obviously, Modric catching a fucking Rocky Balboa to the face from last week, thanks to Locatelli. He's out. We got Jashari in there. Fucking Purvis is in the lineup. For some reason, Nkunku's out there. No Pulisic from the start. All right. Well, within 5 minutes, Jashari gets everybody pissed off because he gets dispossessed, and fucking Berardi, this cocksucker, he gets another goal against us. And if it's not for Mike, 2 minutes later, we would have been down 2-0 with a nice save on Llorente. And then, honestly, our only good chance comes from Leao, and in this 18th minute, Leao just again making everybody lose their mind. He has an open shot in the top of the fucking area, and he fucking shanks it wide. Just ridiculous. And of course, Tomori, the biggest shit stain of the game, gets a second yellow. Here we go. 2 minutes into the second half, they score 2-0. This team is dead. So I go to you, Steve. All right, this game, the way it felt, flat, slow, predictable, pathetic. No urgency. There's no reaction when you go down. I mean, Steve, just talk about how Sassuolo clearly was hungrier than us and what it says about us as a team right now.
This team has no character whatsoever. Absolutely zero. I would imagine that Allegri, trying to coach them up. And again, does he have fault in some of the results in the past 5 games? We'll talk about it a little bit after, for sure. But for this game here, guys, no one can tell me that they didn't know what this game meant with the amount of games left in the season. This was a winnable match. Don't tell me that Sassuolo is that much better than Milan, even when Milan is not in form. Now, I know losing Modric is heartbreaking, and it's terrible for Milan because he was the engine. He was something that we needed, even maybe last year, that could have helped us even more, or the year before that, to even cement, a Scudetto win, or be up in the standings a little bit more. But guys, this is Modric, and we spent a lot of money in the offseason on guys like Yashari, guys like Ricci. This was their time to take the mantle. This was their time to come in, be able to make a statement in this game, give not a Modric-esque performance, because no one's gonna tell me, or be on a chat or be on Instagram and say, we take out Modric, we slot in Yashari, and we're not gonna suffer. I knew that we would suffer a bit. But Fabio, like you said, one of the main things in that pivot position, in that Modric position, is let's not lose the ball. And let's not lose the ball to the most dangerous guy for the past 10 years. That's a Milan killer, which is Domenico Berardi, who loves to score against Milan. This has to be stuff that they had to talk about, that they had to make sure they understood. We didn't want to lose possession. And the first thing that he does when he's taking the mantle is completely drop it, and it breaks into 1,000 pieces, because after that, his confidence is obviously shot, and we saw it the rest of the game. But for me, Fabio, to go back to your point, and I ended there, guys, the last 5 games, this is, and we have a game against Atalanta. If they don't fix this fast, guys, don't be surprised if we're having Milan Weekly Podcast next Monday and we're having the same conversation, because I don't know how he fixes this.
Honestly, and let's kind of go to you here, G. So, like, where did Milan, in your opinion, watching this game, right? Where do you think they suffered the most, right? Because the midfield, we really, really had a tough time in this game. We had a lot of defensive lapses. Then when you look at the forwards, the lack of creativity in the final third, Jesus Christ, bro. And also the body language. There was warnings, so you could see the idiotic choices, especially from our defenders. One particular one more than anything else. But just the midfield. What were your thoughts in overall on this game, and where we lost control and defensive, everything, all of it? What's your thoughts?
Fabio, man, I've been saying let's go get this Soldi from Brugge, but I don't want no more players from Brugge. That club could go to fucking hell. Jashari Zidane, that's what Milan Twitter told me, to spend at least 60 million on him. And shit, man, I think Roldan from El Salvador is a better midfielder than this guy, bro. Like, he's soft, Fabio. And the thing is, like, I don't know. I think like everybody's just thinking that we're gonna get top 4. Leal feels it. His time is done. He's walking around. He's pouting. It's just crazy, Fabio. How like our season was good. We were fighting, and then we get to the mediocre teams. They said it on a TV channel. They said if Milan wins today, we clinch top 4. But we do that all the time. We've done it in previous seasons. We have to win the game, but no, we like to make it harder for ourselves. They knew, okay, boom, but look, now Roma's back in the race. Now Juve. Imagine us and Juve are tied for 4th place. Fabio, you think they're not going to call a bogus ass penalty on the last day for us for them to make it to top 4? This is a situation that they're having, and we're not a team, Fabio. We can't even make 2-foot passes. Atakami comes in, all these players coming in, Salad looking bad. Like, it's just all kinds of stuff, Fabio. I don't know. We're not a team right now. We're just 11 players collecting a paycheck. That's what we're doing. No heart from us. Right. Look, I'm not saying that 6 a.m. is hard for me to wake up for, but like, look, come on, we're waking up at 4 a.m., 6 a.m. to watch them, and this is the effort we put. We gave more effort on yesterday than they gave on the pitch, Fabio.
That's true. It's true, man. So I ask you guys, do you think this game, when you look back at it, is it the system still failing, or is it the players? Right, Steve? What do you think?
Guys, I don't think it's the system. I think it's up here. I think psychologically once we were kind of like, I would say, not in the Scudetto race, or we would not be able to catch Inter because of not even mathematics, just because they were taking care of business and we were not. For some reason, something happened along the way, and I think it got in their heads, and we became too complacent. We became, were we an exciting team to begin with? Absolutely not. We knew the types of players we had. We knew the type of soccer that we wanted to play. We knew the type of soccer that Allegri wanted to play. And guys, this cannot be a surprise for everybody. We've said it thousands of times, you understand? And I have to drill it through Vinny's head because he's Mr. Half Glass Full all the time. But I knew that this was going to be this type of season, you understand? And in the past, and I had people call me out. Guys, I was never an Allegri lover, you understand?
Yeah.
Because I don't enjoy that type of soccer. I don't disagree with it when you have to play with it, but I don't enjoy it. But Milan don't have the players to play the type of football that I like. So if you're not going to play the football that I like, get results. And I'm going to be okay with that as a Milan fan, right? As a soccer purist, maybe not. But as a Milan fan, I'm going to be happy about getting the results. And he was getting results with games that, guys, if you look back, and I took a little pause, and I went back, and you kind of remember this game, and you say, we robbed 3 points. You understand? Like, it was gonna happen. Now we're not robbing 3 points anymore. We're giving them away, and that's the problem that I have, is that we're giving them away. Allegri-style teams don't let 2 goals in, guys.
No,
it's very rare. But Allegri-style teams, which I do like, is they absorb pressure and they're fast on the counter and they just throw it down your throat. But we're not even doing that anymore, guys. Because once we come out in the counter, guys,
we don't have a fucking clue.
We don't have a clue. We don't have a clue of where we're going. We don't have a clue of where let's go by level. The midfield, if Modric is not there right now, we don't even have that as a reference point. We used to have Modric. We would know he would come back low and get the ball, or stay in the midfield and get the ball. Now we don't have that.
No.
At that level. And then even when we got at that Modric level or Rabiot level, right? Now we're like, but what are the other guys doing? Right flank is not doing anything for us. Left flank is not doing anything for us. And our forwards are not true forwards. That's the frustrating part for me. And I think that now has gotten in their head. And Leao is the yips, and Pulisic has the yips, and they both look like they lost their fucking dog. But it's not the time. Someone find their fucking dog
that Pulisic lost.
Yeah, but find them something. Pay. I don't know what you have to do. Get him. Organize something.
There were scandals in those things not that long ago.
But at this point, organize something. Make an actress come and rekindle his imagination or something, guys. I don't know what to do, but that's fine. You understand? Because we need to look back, guys. Right? These guys are kids. And when kids go through stuff, we have to take a step back. They're paid millions of dollars, but they're human in the end, like everybody. Do I agree that they should be going through this telenovela style stuff? Sometimes you make your own shit. You understand? But what frustrates me is that once you walk on the pitch, that has to stay behind you. They can't be the first to. He can't be the first person in the soccer universe to have something happen in his personal life, and he can't block it from going onto the field. This can't be the crutch.
I don't understand how he can't. Oh, look. I understand you're struggling. There's a ton of things that could be going on the outside, right? But you're a professional. If you haven't scored a goal in months, right? If you hear everybody talking bad about you, doesn't it give you more motivation to go out there and prove it? How come Maradona is fucking hyped up on coke, but this guy probably was still producing on the damn field? These guys are such prima donnas right now. I'm sorry. I think it's more about what you said earlier. Leao and the rest of the team, because they feel they're already out of the title race, even bringing their level to being able to compete in the Champions League, for them, it doesn't seem enough to raise their level. So I ask you guys, let's keep it moving here. If you even had the audacity to say anybody could have been a top of this game, what do you believe is the only player that showed something from
Absolutely
Sunday's game?
fucking no one. And let's give a shout out to Ramiz 76 super chat. And let's talk about his question, because there's no top in this game. Gio, if you want to give a top, honestly, I'm getting you barred from Disneyland. There's no top in this game. There's no top.
I would
There
have
is,
said
Stevie. The fans, we the top, man.
Oh, that's a good one. I wouldn't have said that. That's a good one. The Curva for actually making it.
They were still singing. Curva was still singing, though. Like the whole game, we was down to the 90th minute. And these guys were walking on the pitch.
That's true, bro. I appreciate
well said.
that.
You got me there. You got me
yes,
there.
I was going to say, Pavlovic had a couple of moments in the game, again, saving his ass on the last minute. Still, if we would have went any actual player, I would have said him or maybe Mike. But Mike also won. He maybe could have. I mean, it was a hard shot on the second goal. Not really his fault. But anyway, who's your flop, though, Steve? We'll get to the question and who's this on. But who's your flop, though?
For me, my flop is perfect timing with the super chat. To be honest, Joe, we can go on it, guys, but it's very important. This question. The flop, guys, is everybody. It's everybody, guys. We cannot pinpoint one specific player on this pitch, guys. The same way that we cannot pinpoint the failure that's going to be this season. Because for me, again, Steve Polillo, not Fabio, not Gio, not Vinny, not anybody else who comes on the show. But from the beginning, guys, I told you, if Milan don't win the second star this year, for me and my standards to my Milan, it is a failure across the board. And if you go level by level with, I forgot his, what's his name? Ramiz 76's question, okay? It's everybody, guys. Management, Allegri, players. Guys, it has to be everybody. Physiotherapists, water bottle people, merchandise people. Guys, it has to be everybody. Because if Allegri coaches his mind out, which he was coaching his mind out, guys, we just talked about it before. We said, I don't care about the football that you play. Get results. He was getting results.
But when he doesn't get results, is it a harsher criticism then of him, being that he's been talking about this particular time of the season is when you're really going to see what the team is all about, where they're at as a team, and they're trending downward, Steve. So to me, you've been focusing on March and April. This is when you're going to show what type of team you are. And you are flat as can be. You look lifeless out there. Your team looks like they have no idea. I wish I could see an explosion of rage from the side of the pitch that could say, "Oh, at least Allegri's losing his fucking mind with these guys." But it looks like he's just
that's very
did you expect this? Then you know what? There's a lot to be said. But before I keep going on, G, you answer this. Is this on the management, Allegri, players? Steve's saying all. I'm focusing on Allegri here because right now, right, everybody's answer will be management because in the end, they are responsible for everything that happens. But what are you going with?
It's everybody, Fabio, because management messed up with Allegri. They didn't give him the players that he wanted. He wanted different type of strikers, and they got him some bullshit. So he's working what he has. But sometimes too, Fabio, is what my Allegri thing was with Fofana. The first 10 games of the season, Fofana was cock-a-doodle-doo, and he kept on playing him. So I could give him faults on that, and then the players have given up. You know what? Like, I don't see you, Cushy Cush, shout out Martino. I don't see you defending Leao now, man. Y'all gone into hiding. I want y'all to protect him now.
No, listen. Nobody's protecting
I'm messing
anybody
with you.
anymore. All right, you're always the first. Listen, Leao. I don't forget for what he did in 2022, but right now, this Leao, the player that he is, again, you look back and we are fools. We are fools for believing, and maybe I should just speak as myself. I am a fool for believing that this team was going to be anything more than a constant struggle and just a headache to watch because one, they've always been like this, even under Pioli. But now they don't even have like a resemblance of like some sort of unity at the moment. They are just off the fucking rails, and I blame everybody as well. But I look at Allegri saying, you're losing these guys. You're losing these guys. You're fucking changing the starters. You couldn't figure out a different formation. Like, listen, at this point, I don't need to see 2-0 losses, all right? Because you want to stick with the 3-5-2. Get Pulisic on the fucking field. Get Leao on the field. Find the fucking striker, whether it's Jimenez or Fulker. Start him from the beginning. Like, there's no more Modric now. So put the best 3 other fucking midfielders in there and let's do something. Why do we need to play with a Stupion and fucking an idiot like Tomori? Well, why do we have to play this formation? And Salamakis hasn't been good either. He's gone back to the pumpkin. So for me, it's just infuriating all around. This whole team gets me pissed off, right? And let's get to our next topic. Obviously, the Champions League, I said it, we are in major danger. Major danger, all right? Milan sits just 3 points now away from Roma, all right? Roma with 1 victory and a potential awful showing next week against Atalanta, and we could be looking at, we are behind fucking Como and Roma. And I like, people want to talk Juve. I'm worrying about the guys at the back. I think we are going to stumble so far. This is bad. So, Steve, do you think they're going to pull it out? Because Vinny was saying that in our chat. I'm putting Vinny on blast now. Hopeless romantic, holding on to dear hope. He just thinks as long as I stay in the Uber, he'll get me to my fucking date. That's not going to happen, buddy. But what do you say?
Look, again, I would love to predict otherwise, but from what they saw, what they showed me in the last 5 games, I'm at the point where I'm not even gonna be disappointed if they don't make Champions League because they did it to themselves. And the other teams, well, look, disappointed, yes, but we were in control of our own destiny in terms of at least this four spot, right? You know, Juve had a terrible start to the season. They still were able to manage to be around. Como is, showing a bit of their inexperience being in these spots. And Roma, again, am I going to be shocked if Roma botched it? No. But I think the way we make it is that if other people suffer a traumatic loss the way we lost, because that's how important this Sassuolo game was. We needed to grab these points. We needed to make sure that we were able at least to create some kind of cushion, right? So you have Napoli dropping points too. You have Juve dropping points too. You understand? Like, it's not only Milan. We talk and we go harshly on Milan because it's a Milan Weekly Podcast. But I'm a Juve fan and I tied Hellas Verona. Trust me, I saw some on Sunday afternoon. They were not fucking happy, guys. They were not happy. If there's a Juve Weekly Podcast, I hope that they're just as fucking pissed off as we are. Because it was for the taking, guys. It was a year where Milan played once a week. Right? And we had to go with that Napoli blueprint. When you play once a week, you need to splash a bit of cash. You need to get the right players. You need to assert your dominance. And as you assert your dominance and the other ones struggle, because Inter faltered along the way, right? When they were doing they're shitting in their pants when they had to play a Nacional and fucking club soccer and fucking Champions League soccer, everybody shat their pants, right? As soon as they stopped with a Nacional and did that embarrassment, well then magically everybody was fucking was all Mr. Positivity for Inter, right? Let alone that they've decided that they're gonna be able to pick their own refs, right? And if And if we don't know what scandal is going to come out with that stupidity, right? Because they're stupid enough, Inter, to have someone pick their own refs and lose the fucking games that they pick their own refs for. This is fucking the dumbest fucking stupidity that I ever saw in my life, guys. Like, this is what kills me about this season. That's why when Vinny Mancini says in the chat, this one hurts more than last year, because last year we didn't know about the stupidity. This year we know about the stupidity. We knew what we were coming up against. We knew we were up against an Inter that was not going to fucking reinforce itself because they have no money. And we still, for how fucking happy and fucking jizzy comes on fucking spreadsheets, Fiorilani still wasn't smart enough to let Tare work with fucking Allegri and just get the players that he wanted. Were we gonna win the Scudetto? No. But if you look at the you know, we'll talk about it after, the signings that he did want, well, Rabiot did pretty well. So at that point now, if he's asking for more pull in the transfer market, and I'm Tare and I'm Ibra, I am the lion. I am the lion. Well, the lion, he should have fucking punched Fiorilani in the face and say, shut the fuck up, because the guys that this guy signed or wanted are the ones that did some good this year. This is the frustrating part. And that all boils down to now, like beggars, we're looking for the sloppy seconds. Who's going to falter so that Milan walks into the Champions League in fourth to get probably a fucking shit-ass draw the year to come? But again, because I am a fucking asshole and I love it, I want to make it in the most disgusting possible way, deep down inside. I want to make it.
We just want to make it. Who
exactly.
gives a fuck how we
exactly.
do
it? But for me, it's a failure, right? It's a failure.
100%.
There's some people in the chat that unfortunately their IQ is that of a peanut and maybe even less, right? Who go for the blue and the black team, that it's not even worth that it comes out of my mouth. They have hearing problems. So I will start a GoFundMe to get a fucking Whisper 2000 for this idiot so that when he listens to the podcast, he understands that we understand what he's trying to say. And the stupidity that he spews with his fucking fingers on the keyboard that should be disinfected for life, right? I'm not even gonna give him the benefit of looking at what he types, because he's fucking dumb. He's a fucking dummy. We've been saying it since the beginning of the year, and he still can't figure it in his fucking stupid dumb brain of wherever the fuck he is in the United States of America.
Jamaica Queens.
How dumb this fucking guy could be that he still doesn't figure out that we understand. We even said, congratulations. As a fucking club, we even said congratulations. Like a dumbass fucking, the Berlusconi is fucking turning in his grave.
Oh my god.
But people have lost their fucking mind in the world in general, Fab, because you can't say the truth anymore. Because it always has to be the way they want to say it. You understand? Yeah. They want to make the insult. They want to insult people's physical character. They want to insult their ethnicity. They want to insult where they're from in the world, instead of just talking soccer, because they're fucking happy behind the keyboard, right? But I can tell you that one day we'll meet, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have WERTYU in fucking printed on your head, because I'm gonna take the keyboard, I'm gonna smash it on top of your head, and then it's gonna end.
I love it. Listen, they can celebrate all they want, you know, again.
But it's deserved. That's
deserved,
the thing that I understand. You won.
Nobody's coming here saying, oh, they robbed somebody. They've clearly been the better team. And we're going to get to that part, right? But let me ask Gio the same question. We'll go back for a second, right? Champions League football seems like it's slipping away, Gio. Milan right? They control their own destiny. I don't know. I don't know if they do anymore. I mean, currently, yes, because they're still in a stronger position, but are they going to look good against Atalanta? Are they going to even show up against Genoa? And then my favorite city, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at the end, are they going to give us the last fuck you of the season? So, G, are you hopeful? Do you think we're going to make the Champions League? Or is it going to be, what is it going to be, bro?
Nah, Fabio, if we make we're gonna drop out because we're gonna get fined by FIFA or UEFA, whatever the hell they call. Remember, we're still on that probation period. You know, I'm locked. Up, they won't let me out.
Oh my god, bro! So, what do you think?
To me, Fabio, I say if we would play like Inter, Juve, and Napoli, I think we would have like 100% chance. But we're playing the teams that we struggle against.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like it's gonna be tough. I say like 2 wins and 1 draw like gets us through. But like, do you like with this team right now? Like once the first goal in from a goal, that skyrocket goal from Berardi went in, everybody was like, "Bro, the game's over." You saw it in the players' faces. They're like, "Bro, we're not gonna compete no more." So I don't know. It's gonna be tough, Fabio. But like, we're gonna need. I want them to do it, but it's up to the players now. You know, they should get the slaps in
let me ask you. You say, all right, that's a good segue. But who's gonna be the one to step up to get this team? Where is the leadership on the pitch? If you had to identify one person, G, who are you putting your faith in right now? Who's gonna get this team on at least to pick themselves up? Who are you going with?
We're going Modric, man. Hopefully he
comes What the back. Fuck you mean Modric is done for the season? How could it be him? Was he going to yell from the stands?
Put the Epsom salt under his nose. I don't know. Zidane 2.0 got to come out, Fabio.
You know what? I'm so fucking disappointed in you, Gio. You had the whole chance to say your boy, right? He gives you a shout out from New York, and you forget all about him. All of a sudden,
Fabio, he can't score goals. He can't score
Yes,
goals.
He can. He scored headers in the past. So I go to you, Steve. If there's anybody on this fucking team, who's going to be the one stepping up to get this team together before the last 3 games here? Who's it going to be?
I can't tell you who it's going to be. I can tell you who it should have been a long time ago. He wants to be treated as a man. He does not want to be judged by his body language. He doesn't want to be judged by the surfing. He doesn't want to be judged by the body, the smiling. He wants to be taken more seriously. But in the end, this was his chance. Rafael Leao needed to be that person. When Milan were having trouble scoring goals, Rafael Leao had to put on his big boy pants and he had to focus on Milan, not on fucking music, not on fucking clothing, not on nothing. He had to focus on Milan. And unfortunately, he failed. He failed because he is the most gifted athlete, right? I'm not saying soccer player. Athlete that we have, and he is the one who could make the most damage, and we saw it. MVP of Serie A, Scudetto winning year with Pioli. We played with 10 men, the miracle Scudetto. He was the reason why Milan could change gear. He was the reason when we were not looking good and we still got a result, or we got the point, or we stole the result. He was the engine for Milan. He needs to be for the final 3 games. And if it's the final 3 games of his career at Milan, for whatever happens after, he has to be, and he can only be the one who changes everything. Because if he does show up for the next 3 games, and is even a shadow of the Leao that we had in the Scudetto winning year, we have a chance. If he does not, unfortunately, that does not play well with Pulisic, who's dealing with his own problems. It does not play well with a very young and unexperienced and not offensively gifted midfield that we have. And we rely again on Allegri tactics to try to squeeze something out, right? It has to be him, guys. It cannot be anybody else. He's the only one who has the
ability
athletic ability to get us out of there, right? And I'm not even saying soccer smart, because unfortunately that's not part of his game. It's no disrespect. I'm just saying the truth, right? Cassano does say a lot of garbage, but behind that garbage, guys, whether you like it or not, there's a lot of truth. Just intelligent wise on the pitch, it's not his strongest forte because he is an athlete. He is speed. He is power. We need Rafael Leao, who has that speed, who has that power to show up for the last 3 games.
Yeah, it would be nice if he showed up, but unfortunately, like the rest of the team, they haven't really showed up at all. So we ask you guys out there, is the Champions League still realistic? Or are we in trouble? Please leave your comment below. All right, let's do the one part, and we're going to do it quickly.
Not only the comments, Fabio. Make them answer the poll. Answer the poll, guys. Go in the comments on YouTube. Answer the poll, guys. It's there for us. We want to know, is Champions League A, B, C, or D?
And we also have a poll going as well here. We have another poll. I don't know if everybody sees it. It's been up here. I don't know if not quite sure if we put it out. I don't know how the hell this works, but we're gonna put it here. Would you get rid of Allegri if we don't make the Champions League? All right, there's the 3 answers. You got yes, Cortomuso, my ass. No, but I hope someone gets fired. Yes, but who's coming in? All right, that third one's a toughie, but in the end, we'll see what people want. The poll is up there. You might see it. You might not. I'm not quite sure where it is, but there might be 2 polls going on. Click on them both. All right. Inter wins the Scudetto after beating, who the hell they beat? Verona? Was it Verona? I don't remember who they played. Parma. And that's the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Again, historic for them. We're giving credit where credit's due. They were the most consistent team the whole year. They have the best depth. We've said it the whole time. And despite being pretty poor in the Champions League, they still kept a championship mentality in Serie A. Even like Steve mentioned earlier, after the collapse of Italy, the Italian internationals came back and still kept playing well for them. Clearly, there's a big gap between Inter and Milan right now. So let's kind of talk here. G, I know there's something that really got you upset that we're going to talk about in regards to Inter winning the Scudetto, but just regarding the gap with Milan and Inter and everything, seeing them clinch the title, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I said it before, Fabio. I mean, they've been in a financial crisis, and we've been good in the books. But you know what happened? What they haven't done, Fabio? They haven't sold their spine. Their spine starts at Lautaro. The middle disc goes with Barella, and then the back of the spine is Bastoni, and that's the 3 main players that they've had in all these Scudettos run. And what have we done since we won the Scudetto? We selling all our best assets. We're not even keeping 3 core players that are to build. They've been talking about Lautaro going to be sold for the last 4 summers, and he ain't been sold. So I mean, that's what them. They got 3 players that know how to win in Serie A, and you know that's what's going to get them over the top in the league. And it's kind of disappointing because they're still in a financial crisis. They're learning that they got to cut, but we're the only ones cutting, Fabio.
I mean, you know what?
And we said it. We talked about it last week with Vinny. How much does Rafael Leao miss Theo Hernandez? It's a huge question, guys. It's a big part of why he's less effective this year. We never truly replaced Theo Hernandez. You know, Bartazagli is not that type of player. Estupinian was purchased to be that player, but whoever signed Estupinian, guys, the honest truth, whoever signed Estupinian, guys, really, this has to come out in a book. Maybe when we're older and and my son is doing.
I have a feeling the same
with your son and your daughter, whatever the combination is, it has to come out. But whoever looked and saw Estupinian play and thought that he was worth that type of money to replace Theo Hernandez, guys should never ever scout again.
Yeah. I think whoever picked Estupinian is definitely the same person that picked Emerson Royale. I have a feeling there's a correlation there. I hope somebody.
It becomes like a 2-part series or a trilogy of
No.
people that he's picking.
We don't need a trilogy. No.
But that's the scary part, right? We said the gap. You talked about to Gio the gap, right?
Yeah.
The gap is caused, Gio, for Gio's reason. Okay, 100%. I agree with Gio, 100%. The gap is also what it is now because Inter rarely make mistakes in the summer signings and winter signings. Rarely make mistakes.
No.
And when they make a mistake, it's in an area that doesn't affect them as much as it affects Milan. Right? You know, you're gonna say Bonnie, right? You're gonna say the Iranian striker that they picked up last year and didn't do nothing. It doesn't make a difference because he's third in the pecking order, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because Lautaro cemented, Thuram is basically cemented for them, you know, and now you have Pio Esposito, the Iranian guy. It doesn't hurt. That's not a hurtful signing. Exactly. But when Milan makes a signing like the Ketala and fails, like, you know, and we want to replace Tijani Reindeers with the money that we got, and we take Yashari and he fails. We sell Tio Hernandez and we take Estupinian, Emerson Royale, and they fail. Guys, those are areas on the pitch that really, really hurt Milan. And it's obvious when you see it. They're obvious mistakes. And this is where that gap gets created between Inter and Milan, is that they don't make those mistakes.
No. And we continue making mistakes, unfortunately. Let's go on now. Obviously, talking about Inter, it's time. This segment is brought to you by Football Canada, the home of Serie A and the Premier League. You can even listen in Italian on Football. All right, let's go. Match 35's first game was Pisa hosting Lecce. Battle of the bottom 5 clubs here. Lecce coming out, getting a valuable 3 points. Udinese hosting Torino. Udinese gets a valuable 3 points, 2-0 there. The game we got to talk about, Como and Napoli, 0-0. Steve, your thoughts here on Como dropping a valuable point, 2 points that could have got them in a better position to Napoli, who, again, just trying to keep up with Inter to not let them clinch, but a draw here. Your thoughts?
I said it quickly at the beginning. Como showing, their youthfulness in being in these types of position. There's a chance that I forget that Como player had in like the first couple of minutes of this game where there's a goal line clearance from Buongiorno that happens. He's shooting from the 6-yard box. That's the difference maker in this game. I think if Como takes the lead 1-0, this game opens up, and I say it makes a difference in the game. Because if Como opens up, Napoli needs to open up, and then we have a different result here. We're not seeing a 0-0 draw.
Your thoughts on Como and Napoli here, G, before we go on, because this is really, I look at these scores, I said, this is not an advertisement for Serie A here with these 0-0 games.
No,
thoughts here?
Fabio, I mean, I think this Serie A round should be like discarded, man. Because even all the games, even though 2-0s, like that Milan game was hard to watch, and all these other games are hard to. I thought I gotta have my popcorn ready, I had my beverage, and nothing in this game. No fireworks, no nothing. All I saw is that the Conte. Turkey is calling. They say they need you for your third redo. Okay, you have your whole ball is balding. That was the only entertaining thing.
That's true. That was the only entertaining thing. Atalanta hosted Genoa. They ended 0-0 in that one. Bologna hosting Cagliari, 0-0 there. Let's move to the next one. I wish I could play.
Before you go on,
yes.
That 0-0 Bologna Cagliari is very important to us, because it puts Cagliari 9 points up on relegation with 2 games left, 3 games left. How many games we have left?
3 games.
Atalanta, 3 games left. Next Saturday, they need a result, and they need something to work against Udine, because I don't think Udine can move up or down in this standings. We'll see after. that Cagliari point against Bologna is going to help in terms of what's going to happen Milan-Cagliari, the final match day.
Don't worry, they're guaranteed 3 points against us. All right, Sassuolo hosting Milan, obviously 2-0. Juventus dropping points against a relegation club, Verona. And yes, Juve did salvage the point and come back. But very sad, Steve. I know you love talking about Juve, so we're going to let you start here. Dropping points 1-1 to Verona.
Like I said, guys, spoke to other Juventini there that watched this game, and they started with Milan and finished their conversation with Juve. It's two teams that just, unfortunately, are showing that they're just not well constructed. And for Juve to be at home and have bottom dwellers Verona come in and not get these 3 points, I think they're kicking themselves. I think this is, it's bad because they already knew the result from Sassuolo Milan, right? So
yeah,
like you're not playing with that same type of pressure, and I think it's dropped 2 points for them, and again, it shouldn't have happened.
All right. Obviously, Inter defeating Parma 2-0 to clinch the title. And then we go to the Rome teams that played today on Monday. Cremonese hosting Lazio. Lazio getting the victory 2-1. And Roma defeating Fiorentina in a 4-0 goal fest there. And there's your trompete right there. All right, G. Thoughts on Roma defeating Fiorentina, Lazio getting the victory. And what's your thoughts?
I don't know. Sarri's about to be out of a job, and then Roma, they keep on scoring. They put that pressure on us, Fabio. The only good thing I seen in the schedule, they got a derby 2 weeks from now. So I think that's the only reason we make.
That's true. That might be one of the reasons, maybe. But I don't even. Again, I'm not hopeful. I am not hopeful. Let's look at the standings here. Obviously, we're talking Inter clinching the title there with 82 points at the moment. Napoli in second, 70. Milan 3 points behind in third with 67. Juve 2 points behind us in fourth, with Roma there with 64, only 3 points off, and even Como still 6 points off of Milan. That's the only thing I can see. I'm praying to God that Como keeps dropping points, but Como has a pretty soft last couple of games. On the back end of the table, I think it's locked in at this point. Cremonese is going down with Verona and Pisa. Lecce is 4 points up with 9 points to go. I don't think they drop all the way into 18th. I don't see Cremonese picking up many points with their last 3 games. So, I mean, we kind of mentioned this before, so we're not going to ask again. Those are the standings. Any thoughts before we move on here? No.
It's so sad.
It's sad, but you know what? It's almost over, guys. It's almost. All right, that segment was brought to you by Fubu Canada, the home of Serie A and the Premier League. All right, let's go back here. Where are we now? Let's continue going. All right. Let's take a look back because we're almost at the end of the season, right? Summer Mercato breakdown. Let's talk about it. Let me bring in Vince Mancini's question before we go through the players and what we're thinking about them. Vince Mancini says, hey, guys, my question is pretty simple. Is this a season a bigger failure than last? He mentioned it earlier. I want you to look at this in 2 ways. On the field, sporting perspective, and also in a back office management perspective. In my opinion, Minke, he's got a long one here. Pause. All right. In my opinion, I feel like I'm watching this club on a weekly basis as it is. We may make top 4, but it feels like we just wasted another year with no forward progress. It honestly feels like we have actually made backward progress. 100% there, Vinny. Another year with money thrown away on players we will never see again at the end of the season. A manager who has destroyed the quality of certain pillar players. Don't even get me started on how he devalues some of our most valuable assets, a.k.a. Leao and Pulisic at the moment. I never wanted Allegri in the first place due to his tactics, idea of how culture should be played. We are finally seeing it come to fruition as other teams pick up on the pace for the end of 2026. With only 1 game played a week, a majority of our season. Oh, sorry, that got cut off. Why did our players always look tired and disinterested? Over 20 years of supporting this club, I've never felt disconnected. And to these colors, I feel like we have children making conscious decisions, and they have no right way of making. And an owner who might smile for the cameras, but probably cries at home in a dark room every night. Well, I hope he is at least. As always, Sempre Milan. Thoughts on Milan. All right. So, Vince, thank you for your comment, bro. 100% I agree with you. I feel like this is definitely a wasted season. We've kind of mentioned it throughout the whole show. This is definitely feels like a lot worse, even though we are technically third. Somebody made a great point. I think it was Old Heart Rosanera. At least last year, it felt a little different, right? We at least got to a Coppa Italia final. The football, like we at least won a trophy. This year has felt so flat. Even when we were getting results, they weren't good watches. So to me, this definitely feels like a lackluster season. And if we don't even finish top 4, 100%, this is a waste of the season. At least we won a Super Cup, and we got one stupid fucking dancing picture of Sergio Conceição. Like, what are we getting out of this one? Nothing. Allegri looking at the camera when he's getting red carded? Give me a fucking break. But let's move on. Let's look at the players here, Steve. We put this in here. Nkunku for 37 million. Jashari, 36 million. Samuel Ricci, 23 million. Kone, 20 million. Kone De Winter, 20 million. Purvis Stupinian, 17 million. Que schifo. Atakame, 10 million. Cisse, who's a young prospect. Hopefully we see him at some point next year. 8 million. Rabiot, only 7 million. Obviously, that's the biggest one. Odugo, 7 million to never see him again. Modric on a free. Terracciano on a free. And Fulkrug, a loan that we should sue them for sending him this guy. Because what an embarrassment of fucking players. Who upsets you most out of this list, Steve?
For me, I have to go back to Nkunku, 37 million. For Allegri to say, well, we're gonna find a way to slot him in. For me, that's the one that I can't fathom. What I also hate is that I love the way people, I think it's Bonetti there, going on and who's a flop and who's not. Like this player in Nkunku. And I'm not going to disagree with, everybody has their opinion and they go. But guys, like this player, it's not even, the flop is not even the word. This player here was not wanted by the coach that is going to coach your team. And we let that go. We let that come out. Like it's an astronomical flop. It's not just a flop. It's astronomical because it touches even past the winter market, even past the sporting director. Sporting director chooses a player, coach agrees with the player. Player is either, a positive signing or a negative signing. I can live with that. It happens, guys. It happens. I'm okay with that. Sporting director's not choosing it. It's fucking Excel master who's choosing it. Coach has absolutely no idea what Excel master is doing in the background and shows up, hey buddy, you got this new player, but where the fuck am I gonna play him? I don't want this player. It's very obvious, Fabio, that the Fulkrug signing was to try to get the player that he always wanted, and he wanted Vlahovic, guys. We're not gonna hide it. We're not gonna sit here and say that he didn't want him. He wanted him or a player like him. And I understand why, because we need that player in this lineup. The 3-5-2 or whatever, everybody's trying to say play a different formation needs a true number 9. 3-5-2, 4-4-2, you could live with 2 false 9s the way we're playing. You can, if you want to. But his system doesn't allow us to have 2 false 9s because you need a reference point up there, guys. It's fucking simple. That's the one that kills me the most. Bonetti, Ricci, flop. Ricci didn't get a chance, Bonetti. I'm sorry. I don't know if you fucking watched the games there in CBS land, but he fucking didn't get a chance. And when he got a chance, it was sporadic, stupid minutes that you cannot say that he's a flop. Because saying that he's a flop goes against every fucking other stupidity that you said of why Italy fails. Because we're willing to fucking say, hey, Ricci's a flop right away. The Ketelar, we have to fucking pamper him over to fucking Atalanta for him to play well. That's the fucking problem with Serie A, is that people like that just jump and say flop. Yashari, flop. Yeah, well, Yashari is a flop in theory because he's tied to a price tag that makes him a flop. But if Yashari is nurtured and taken at the right time, guys, Yashari played Champions League football with Club Brugge. The guy's a player. He also fractured his tibia fibula, which we don't know why or how.
I'll bet both there. That's how.
Yeah, there you go. We know that he got tackled by his own player and fractured his fucking tibia and fibula. It's not an easy injury to come back to. So it's easy to label flops and things like that with players like that. Very easy to be a Monday morning quarterback. But these are the players that decide. The flop, guys, in all this, to make my long rant very, very short for fucking Presidente to cut and put on tomorrow, not 4 fucking days from now, is that the flop of the fucking Mercato is our fucking upper management. Because they have no fucking plan, Fabio.
No. Some of these signings,
in the fucking dark room, Jerry, someone get him this fucking message from Fat Steve in Canada. Fat Steve says, Jerry, get fucking someone to run your club like a fucking sports club. Not like a fucking Excel spreadsheet with micros and macros and fucking formulas. We want to win. We're fucking Milan. We've always won. You came here when you bought us. We won a Scudetto. We won another one. We won Champions League success. This is what we want.
We're not even going to get Champions League football right now. This is the curse that we deserve after ruining what we were building. Do you have any thoughts on these moves that we made? Does anyone stick out in particular that makes you extra angry?
Jerry, you don't have enough money as Todd Bowley, you fucking idiot. I mean, Todd Bowley is backed by Saudi Arabia. If you don't know, aka Clearwater, you are backed by selling what team does he have? Lorient or whatever the hell team, bro. Toulouse, which is worth about 20 million US dollars. So that's like 15 million euros. But anyways, you do not have that money. I said it, Fabio. I said I do not want no knees in Cuckoo. He had 3 ACL injuries, bro. He hadn't played for 2 years, and he's worth 37 million. Now, what we need from Chelsea,
there's money laundering going on.
Now, what we need from Chelsea, Fabio, is that asshole that's selling them for that price to us. We need him to work for Milan.
Oh, because you want to,
I want to fleece people because Chelsea, they don't need money. They make a lot of money Premier League and doing their shady stuff and buying hotels and all that stuff. They don't need money. We need money, and that was a lot. And to me, I've always said, Fabio, if you're gonna spend 35 million and up for a Serie A club like Milan that wants to be good in the books, you have to hit on them. And our last 35 million and up, oh boy, have they been a miss.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about the 35 millions and up is you get closer and closer to fucking like beating your transfer record. You understand? Like we're touching these 35 million dollar players are getting close to that Rui Costa mark, man. Like, guys, you cannot touch that. Like,
we're nowhere near it.
But this is where soccer is wild now. Because if Nkunku is close to Rui Costa's 35 million, let's go back in the day. That 35 million is $350 million, Fabio.
There's Costa, inflation, Steve. Inflation.
Rui Costa is fucking class. Imagine. You know, guys, how fucking hard I am to say world class. He's class, guys.
Yeah, but 30 million then is like 5 million now to us. The way they spend.
I understand, Fabio. But then let's go with the value of the player. Look at what Nkunku does on the field, and look what Rui Costa did on the field, guys. That has to be the market is not stable, guys. If we're comparing, guys,
No,
I understand that the money is different. But even if you multiply
a dream, like
even if you multiply, you said that 35 million back in those days is like 5 million in these days. Even if we multiply it by 10, it's still not enough, Fabio.
Yeah,
you're telling me
right.
you're telling me it's not enough. I'm telling you.
You're right, 100%. And Nkunku has to. That's one of the reasons why I don't see how he's leaving, and his salary is insane.
Yeah.
For our
Remember
team.
for Sheva, when we signed Sheva, Fabio, Stevie P, how it was an uproar, the amount of money, he was coming from a no-known league. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
And nobody said, oh, those guys are stupid, this is it. But we know that Nkunku hasn't played in 2 years, and you're going to spend Sheva money on him? Oh, my God, Fabio. He got to go, Fabio. If he got to go, and then we don't even want to make it a Jerry thing, but if your right-hand man is messing up, then you got to go as well, because all you doing is messing up. Furlani, I don't know, he getting no knees. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, they're looking at players, right? There was the other player, the Boniface. He literally had to retire after, and that's who we were looking as a striker as well. I mean, just pitiful. To me, I'm sorry to say this, Estupinian, I was hanging my hat on you, man, to pull some Ecuadorians in for my wife's side of the family, and you fucking let me down. You still continually let me down. And for 17 million, unacceptable. Nkunku at least score a couple goals. Stupinian has one thing that made him even good, just that goal against Inter. Other than that, he's been useless, utterly useless. I hope I don't even see him in the World Cup. All right, guys, let's get to the final thoughts here. All right.
Wait. Before we go to the final thoughts, we gotta go there in the chat there, guys. Yeah, I had to look it up because I didn't want to speak from the ass, guys. But if I'm signing Rui Costa, 35 million, okay, and in the time that he's at Milan, okay, and again, I give you credit, guys. I give you credit with a far better team, guys. But he started on a team that won a Champions League, a Serie A, a Coppa Italia, and a Super Cup.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a flop.
Guys, you cannot. Let's understand the same way that I'm very picky with world class guys. Flop is a very, very, very tricky word, guys. Flop, it attaches you to a price tag. It gives you something that maybe you're not. But guys, Rui Costa at Milan, a flop. Please, guys, erase the comment from the chat so that we can never go back to it again.
It's on the internet. It's forever now.
We can't, guys. Not with that. That I can't.
Yeah, you got to go back and look, because Rui Costa played a few years. When Kaká came in, Kaká was a thing all his own. But he came in a few years later. And
we were good at passing the mantle, right? So
yeah,
we were able to, Rui Costa long in the teeth. Kaká comes in, and we don't lose a step.
All right, let's get it. All right, so final thoughts. We're in our extra time here. All right. So if you guys had one word to describe Milan right now, right? What are you going with, Steve? What's your one word to describe Milan?
Depressed.
What about you, G?
Putting me to sleep.
I'm so glad you really understood
more
the
than one
describing.
word there.
What the fuck? Oh my God!
I need some espresso. It was bad I was in my bed chilling, Fabio, and then I said, "Nah, let me go get up, start brewing all this coffee." It was
shameful. That's about right. Lifeless. How about that? Lifeless. Just pathetic. That's another one that kept coming out of my mouth on Sunday. Pathetic. Shambles. That's a good one too. All great S words. Shit. That's another one I like too. All right, guys. Listen, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you all for interacting, being here. Please smash the like button if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe so you can catch us all the time. Listen, even if Milan goes down in a flaming glory, we are always here. We are always here. We never disappear. We'll be here after Atalanta Milan this weekend. And of course, before we leave, we want to say, look, somebody said, fuck this season, but I forgot. What was that website that sells all that sick-ass Italian football t-shirt merch? I love that Baggio tee. Steve, please tell the people.
Guys, Vintage Pitch Apparel, guys, we're out and about with our World Cup 2026 line. We're calling it the tournament. Guys, check us out, vintagepitch.com. Fantastic for all the, all your World Cup gear. We have some really cool t-shirts. We have past winners, throwback t-shirts for, Italy's 34, 38, 82, and 2006. And we don't know when we're going to make the next one if they qualify for a World Cup. And, Brazil, France, 98, Argentina. Guys, we have some really cool stuff. Really, really nice designs. Guys, Vintage Pitch Apparel. Check us out, please.
There you go. There you go. G, parting shot. What's your word?
Parting shot. Hey man, my parting shot is like, look to all the players, man. F y'all, man. I'm saying it. F y'all. You got this bitch ass motherfucker Marcus Thuram celebrating like he Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe rolling in his grave right now. You know he was a real Milan Tifosi. He spoke Italian. He was up there with the curva since he was a little kid. And y'all let this guy disrespect that man like that. He will never be Kobe Bean Bryant, and we don't like that respect. You was not paying no homage, Marcus Thuram. So I hope you have utter diarrhea shit for the next 7 months.
I knew he was going to finally get to that. All right, guys, just one last thing. If you were in the greater New York area, please come check out Milan Club NYC at Legends Bar, Football Factory, 33rd and 5th Avenue. We will be in attendance for Milan Atalanta. It is Mother's Day, so take your mother to the best football factory that you can. Come hang out at the bar, be a good time. I won't be there. I'll be with my mother, but it doesn't matter. Somebody will be at the bar. Go check it out. Hopefully you will be the reason Milan actually shows up and plays well. Guys, for everybody here at the Milan Weekly Podcast, we appreciate you checking in. Ovunque and sempre.
Forza Milan!
Forza Milan!
Forza Milan, everybody. Good night.